Long ago, in the lush hills of southeastern Nigeria, where the wind carried the scent of roasted yam and palm wine, lay Umunze Village, a place blessed by peace and surrounded by mysteries. The night Amoka was born, the sky refused to grow dark. Clouds rolled away, and the moon grew full and radiant, shining as though it wanted to see the new life entering the world. Inside a small thatched hut at the edge of the village, Mary, the young widow of late hunter Obiez, struggled in labor. The midwife, old Mama Ifeoma, urged her gently, "Push, my daughter. The ancestors are with you. Push." And then a cry pierced the night. The baby's first wail echoed across the hills, and suddenly the air grew still. The midwife looked down at the newborn and froze. "By the spirits," she gasped. Her eyes, they shine like the moon. Mary weakly took the child in her arms. The baby's skin glowed faintly, and when she blinked, her pupils shimmered like silver water. Mary smiled through her tears. "She is my gift from the heavens. I shall call her Amoka, for she is truly beautiful." Outside, the villagers gathered, whispering. The moon refused to leave the sky. A child of the gods has been born. And so the legend of the moon child began. Amoka grew up under her mother's gentle care. Mary sold palm oil in the market and taught her daughter humility, patience, and kindness. The other children in Umunze played and teased, but they noticed something about her. When Amoka laughed, birds gathered on the trees. When she sang, the river rippled softly as though it listened. She was quiet, thoughtful, and never cruel. If a child fell, she was the first to help. When the goats wandered too far, she brought them home unharmed. But not everyone saw her as a blessing. Old men sitting under the udala tree whispered, such light in her eyes. No mortal child should have that. What if she brings misfortune one day? And yet, Amoka never responded with anger. She simply smiled. Her mother always told her, greater than. Amoka, the moon shines in silence. It does not argue with the darkness. She carried those words in her heart. One dry season, a hunter named Odogwu disappeared in the forest. The men searched for days, but found only his broken bow near the Ikenjoba Grove. The sacred forest no mortal dared to enter. The elders declared it a sign of the god's anger. The grove was the dwelling of spirits, and even the birds avoided it. The villagers began leaving food offerings by the forest edge, roasted yam, palm wine, kola nut. But the air still felt heavy with unease. Amoka, barely 15, watched from afar, curious and troubled. Her heart always felt a strange pull toward the forest, as if something within it whispered her name. One morning, while collecting firewood, Amoka strayed deeper than she ever had. The sunlight grew dim. The trees stood taller. The wind whispered, "Go back." But she pressed on. Then she heard it, a cry, soft and desperate. Following the sound, she found a deer caught in a hunter's snare, its leg bleeding. Amoka knelt beside it. "Hush, little one. You'll be free soon." She tore her wrapper into strips and cleaned the wound with water from her calabash. Then she sang, her voice trembling but sweet. "Spirits of earth and sky, hear me. Ease this pain and set life free." As her song filled the air, the bleeding stopped. The deer's wound closed before her eyes. It stood, bowed 3 times, and vanished into white mist. A sudden gust of wind brushed her face, and somewhere in the distance, she heard faint drumming. Amoka stood in awe. The forest had gone completely silent. By the next morning, strange things began happening. The river turned cloudy without rain. Chickens refused to lay eggs. The yam barns began to rot. At night, dogs barked at empty air, and red light filled the sky before dawn. The villagers grew fearful. In the market square, Chief Okafor called for an emergency meeting. "The spirits are angry," he said gravely. "Someone has entered the sacred grove." The oracle, Dibia Chukwudi, was summoned. He spread his cowries on the ground and whispered ancient words. The shells rolled, spun, and stopped. The Dibia's eyes widened. The one who broke the boundary is Amoka, daughter of Mary. The crowd gasped. Some mothers held their children close. Mary wept. My daughter would never bring harm. She has a pure heart. But the Dibia shook his head. The balance has been disturbed. She must seek forgiveness from the spirits, or darkness will consume us all. That night, Amoka couldn't sleep. The wind outside called her name softly, Amoka, Amoka. She stepped out, and the moon shone brighter than ever. The air shimmered, and suddenly a tall, radiant woman appeared, her body made of silver light, her hair flowing like starlight. Do not fear, my child, the figure said. I am Anioma, the goddess of the moon. Amoka fell to her knees. Why do you come to me, great mother? Anioma smiled sadly. The deer you freed was my messenger, wounded by human greed. When you healed it, you opened the veil between worlds. But now a dark spirit has escaped, the spirit of greed, born from envy, lies, and selfishness. It feeds on fear and will destroy all life if not stopped. Amoka trembled. How can I stop it? Beyond the 7 hills lies the Lake of Mirrors, where the spirit stone rests. Restore it, and harmony will return. She touched Amoka's palm. A silver crescent appeared there. This mark will guide and protect you. Remember, light is strongest when surrounded by darkness. Then the goddess vanished in a swirl of silver mist. Nika listened silently, tears shining in her eyes. Amoka told her mother what had happened. My daughter, she said, holding Amoka's face, your journey will be hard, but your heart is brave. Go, and when you are afraid, sing the song I taught you. Amoka nodded, hugged her tightly, and left before dawn, carrying a small bundle of gari, a gourd of water, and her mother's blessing. Amoka walked for days. Guided by moonlight, she crossed rivers, climbed rocky paths, and slept beneath ancient trees. She met kind strangers, a fisherman who shared his roasted fish, a lonely widow who gave her cassava bread. Each time she helped them in return. The crescent mark on her palm glowed faintly brighter. By the 4th night, she reached the Forest of Whispers, a place no one had ever returned from. The air was thick with fog. Faces seemed to form in the mist, watching her. A massive python blocked her path, its scales glistening like wet stone. Who dares walk the path of the unseen? It hissed. I am a mocker of Umunze, she replied. Child of the moon, I seek the Lake of Mirrors. The serpent's eyes blazed. Then answer my riddle, or perish. What runs but never walks, has a bed but never sleeps. Amoka thought carefully, then smiled. The river, the python bowed. Wisdom flows in you like water. Go, moonchild, and it slithered aside, vanishing into the mist. By dawn, Amoka reached a valley where 4 old women sat spinning glowing threads. Their hair was white as snow, their eyes like fireflies. They spoke in one voice. Child of 2 worlds, we are the sisters of fate. Ahead lies the cave of echoes, where your deepest fears will call your name. Do not answer, only courage can pass. Amoka bowed and continued, her heart heavy but steady. The cave's air was cold, heavy with whispers. Every step echoed back to her as if the mountain breathed. Then she heard it, her father's voice. Amoka, my daughter, come closer. Her eyes filled with tears. Papa. A faint light appeared, the shape of a man, reaching out. Come to me, my child, I missed you. She took a step, then stopped. The words of the sisters rang in her mind. Do not answer. She closed her eyes and began to sing softly. Spirits of peace, guide my way, light my path till break of day. The illusion shattered, a wind howled, and the shadow vanished ahead. The cave opened into dazzling moonlight, the Lake of Mirrors. Here, the battle of light and shadow began. The lake shimmered, reflecting both sky and soul. In its center floated the glowing spirit stone. But as she approached, the waters darkened, and a monstrous figure rose, tall as the trees, eyes burning red. I am the spirit of greed, it roared, born from mankind's hunger for more. You cannot destroy me. I live in every envious heart. A mocker raised her voice. You may live in hearts, but not in mine. Love is stronger than greed. The spirit lunged, wrapping her in darkness. She gasped, her strength fading. Then she remembered Anioma's words, light shines brightest in darkness. The crescent mark on her palm blazed. She pressed her hand to the spirit stone and whispered, let there be peace. Light exploded across the sky. The spirit screamed and dissolved into mist. When the light faded, the lake was calm again, glowing like silver glass. A mocker woke beside the river in Umunze. The villagers gathered, shouting in joy. The yam barns were full again. The river flowed clear. The sky was blue. The dibia and the elders knelt before her. You have done what no mortal could, they said. You are truly Nwa Anioma, child of the moon. A mocker smiled humbly. It was never my power. The moon shines for all, not for itself. Years passed. A mocker became a healer and teacher. She blessed the sick, settled disputes, and guided the youth to live with kindness. Every full moon, she climbed the highest hill, lifted her hands, and sang to the sky. The moon always shone a little brighter those nights. When she grew old and her time came, the moon glowed like day. A silver mist surrounded her, lifting her body gently toward the heavens. That night, a new star appeared beside the moon. The people of Umunze said, the moon child has gone home to her mother. And even now, when the moon shines full and calm, mothers tell their children, look at the sky. That bright star beside the moon is a mocker, still watching over us.